All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, my name is Omojesu Alfred, and I'm seeing the Swag King. I'm the boss of all bosses. Happens to be among the very most innocent guys on the face of planet Earth, like the Caesar. I came, I saw, and of course, I conquered because the street refused to go to church. I made up my mind that I would definitely take the church to the streets. It's yet another episode of Epignosis, and of course, with Apostle Tony Kalama right here with us on set. But before I introduce him to you, ladies and gentlemen, I think I would like to go on a very short break. Of course, I'll be right back shortly. Now, welcome back from the break in seeing Epignosis with Apostle Tony Kalama right here with us on set. How is everything, Apostle?
Thank you, Omojesu. The Lord bless you.
Lord bless you too. Today we are actually looking at the Prodigal Son. This has been the condition or the situation of so many Christians in our society today. But before we proceed, we first of all want to know, when we say the Prodigal Son, according to the Bible, who is the Prodigal Son?
Yes, according to the Bible, and the lesson we learn from it, a prodigal son is a lost son.
All right.
A lost son, but found.
Okay.
When the person is not found, it's not a prodigal son by the moral lesson of the prodigal son.
Okay.
A son that is lost. I know when you look at the prodigal son, it's also a son that acts on his or a daughter that acts on his or her own volition.
Okay.
Thinking that what they are doing was best for them. So that's why the Bible says, lean not on your own understanding. So a prodigal son is one that leans on his or her own understanding and takes a decision based on thoughts or such.
Okay.
That's the prodigal son.
But how do we now according to the Bible, we understand that after the prodigal son make his decision and went with everything that he feel is best for him, and he came back, and the father actually accepted him. But he has an issue with his elder brother. The elder brother has an issue with it because why? He has been in the house for a very long. He has been there with his father from birth, and even when the younger one made his decision, he decided not to go. He stick with the father. And when the father has to welcome the younger son, he felt bad. And that is actually the situation with so many Christians, right? And maybe the choir master or whatever left the church and the assistant is there, and the choir master came back and the pastor took him to be in charge over them again. Now, if we're not careful, we can want to say, we'll be forced to say something like this: I've been here for a very long time. See that I'm not also important, just like the way the elder one narrated in the Bible. So how do you explain that part to us?
Now, like I earlier said, that a prodigal son or a prodigal daughter is a lost but found.
Yes.
One. And I also said that before the issue of being prodigal, there are so many thoughts that comes into the person's mind.
Okay.
Which I also cited about, we say, lean not on your own understanding. Now, the son made the father say, give me all that belongs to me.
Yeah.
Yes, to him, he feels that, yes, he's supposed to achieve more. He's supposed to do this. He's supposed to do that. And that's why, like, when you talk about, last episode, when you talk about blackmailing,
yeah,
the issue of blackmailing can come, and the person just, that's why I said, no leaving the church is a right decision. Okay. Because it's done in an anger setup or setting. Now, whatever the person thinks about that makes him to leave the father, that makes him or her to become a prodigal son or a prodigal daughter, all those thoughts is not right.
Okay.
All those thoughts is not right. And the prodigal son left with loss of wealth, with loss of giftings, talent. Like you talk about choir master. Yeah. No, giftings and talent. You might be highly placed in the church, and you left. You left with these talents and giftings. Yes, it's not to be taken from you. Just like God did not take the power from Satan. You understand? Also, Satan was he asked him in Job, he said, what are you doing here? You understand? So all the powers, yes. But after exhausting all this, the Bible said, he now went and associated with a citizen of the land. And so he started doing menial job. They put him, okay, take care of the swine. I was taking care of the swine. And nobody give him anything. He has exhausted all what he has and was even eating the pig's food, the swine food. But he said to himself, he said to himself and said, oh, he realized in Luke 15, 17 and 18, he realized himself, and also in verse 29, and said, oh, so many higher servants of my father, and they have more than enough to eat, and they even dash people. But here I am, begging. Why not go back? And he had that remorse. He had that realization. Not everybody has that realization. We're talking about the prodigality of a son or of a daughter. So there are some that are able to come back. Some are not able to come back because of shame, pride, and whatever. But this son of his removed pride. He removed shame, and he went back. So when he went back, he said the father received him and said, when he was coming, he was of the mind, I will go and beg my father, do this, do that. So already his mind has been made to ask for apology, to ask for mercy. When the father saw his look from afar, seeing him alone entering the church, it's the duty of the shepherd to receive him. That's what Christ showed us. The duty of the pastor to receive him first and foremost. He said the father ran to him. That's the only picture where we see God running. Where God runs. It's the only picture in the Bible. Yeah. He ran towards the lost, as I said, for every repentant soul, there is joy in heaven. There's merriment. So the father received him. Why was my father said, no, kill the fatted calf. And they killed. And the other brother came and heard the sound of music and dancing. And he asked, what is going on? He said, your brother came back. He was supposed to be happy, but he was not happy because they killed the fatted calf that he has been laboring and feeding all this while. And he said to the father, where he said he went here, and the father went to entreat him in 29, 32 to 35 of the same Luke chapter 15. And the father went to him and said, why are you bitter? We're only celebrating your father. He said, but I have been here. I have not disobeyed you one day. Just like I said, the choir master come back and still put him in place. Others are hungry. So I have not disobeyed your word, your commandment any day. I labored for you all this while. And yeah, you've not even given me even a small animal to just eat with my friends and make merry for one day. But here you are killing the father calf. And the father asked him a question. All that belongs to me, are they not yours? Which means that for they who stay and serve, there's a place in the heart of the father for them. They have all. Remember that the prodigal son never had authority of what they kill. It was the father that is his fiat and veto. So the elder son has asked him, all that I have, is it not yours? Which means he has the fiat and veto of the father the moment the father relinquished to him. But the prodigal son will not have such.
This is getting a little bit interesting right now. Let's assume you're serving and you're not serving with your heart. And the masters know that you're not serving with your heart. One thing I thought by saying, make no mistake about it. The coach knows what you're doing. He knows your ability and he knows your disability. You know the things you can do and the things you cannot do. So he watched you carefully and noticed that you're not being unfair to him. All right? And you came up and says, maybe he has seen you repeating one same thing over and over again. And it dawned on him that he should let you go. All right, I think I need to go so he will not corrupt the other sheep. He will not corrupt the other people. I'm talking about our present moment. Because now you might have 4 staff working with you, and one is the one causing trouble everywhere. All right, okay. Now you now walked up and say, I need to go. And the master, based on the fact that he just wanted to go, not to corrupt the other ones, he now said, okay, you go. And even though he's speaking the blessings to you, but
it does not work.
Deep down in him, it doesn't.
The blessing will not work because a blessing is like a fertilizer.
All right.
You understand? You are pouring. There's a crop already. You are pouring fertilizer to make it grow. Now I want to bring these 2 scenarios. Remember that Laban did not bless Jacob out of his happiness, out of his heart.
Okay.
But he had no choice because God said, bless him.
All right.
And we watch here that Jacob walked with his heart. First 7 years, second 7 years, third 7 years. With happiness, with joy.
And the plan was for him to live for the first 7 years.
Yes.
All right.
So you understand? So he walked. So if you walked with your heart and your master bless you from his heart or not, it's going to work out because the fertilizer is already pouring on a fertility crop.
Okay.
You know, there are some soil that does not need fertilizer.
Yeah.
Because you have already worked, so he has made the soil to be soft.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Okay, please, ladies and gentlemen, you need to pay more attention. I think this is one part most of us in our generation today are missing. Okay. Now, sometimes you ask yourself, I know everything. I'm good at the job, but why am I not making progress? Okay. And I think this is where the issue is. Now, you said something. You said the reason why Laban blessed Jacob, even though he did it out of grudge, not with a smile, because why God has already told him, bless him. God gave him instruction. So he is acting on God's instruction, not even on Jacob's instruction. Okay, now, God, you said I should bless him, even though I don't want to, but at your word, let me bless him. So meaning the master is also obeying God and obeying God's instruction. Now, secondly is Jacob walked with his whole heart. Okay, despite the fact that the master was not being fair to him, I'm meant to serve you for 7 years, but now I've stayed with you for 21 years. And each and every of my service, you did something to keep me back. Now you play the fast one on me. You always play the fast one on me. But in the midst of the fast one, God showed me a way I can create wealth. All right. But now he was doing it with his whole heart. So did you mean that even though my boss is not being fair, I should still walk with him with my whole heart?
Yes, Colossians 3:23 to 25 says, whatsoever ye do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto man.
Okay.
So if you watch, then the other scenario is Abraham and Lot. Lot was not doing, at the point, was no longer doing that with his whole heart. And his men grew, and his men were trying to gather more for him rather than Abraham who brought him.
Okay.
And just as I said, the boss now see out of 4 stars, this was causing trouble, this opportunity is okay, you can go. And that's what Abraham did. Okay. And Abraham said, Lord, let your men and my men not strive. Take one part of the land, let me take the other part. So Lot, make choice first. Lot, make choice before Abraham. The side Lot selected was the place that looked greenish and every fine place. Abraham never complained. But what happened? Where Lot was, finally also was destroyed, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Was that because Lot doesn't know how to handle wealth when it comes?
No, one, first, he was not working with Abraham, with his heart. Whatsoever you sow, you reap. But the question you have is that the master can just come and say, okay, because of, no, I don't want problem, you go.
You go.
It's not the appointed time for him to bless you.
Okay.
But he blesses you for you to go.
Okay.
So that there will be peace.
Okay.
So check. Even when the Lord wants to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham still came to plead.
That means Abraham still have Lot in mind.
Fine. Yes. Okay. So it's whatsoever you sow, you reap. Okay. So Abraham is thinking good for him. Lot was not thinking the good of Abraham, but rather for his own self. So it was self-centered.
Okay.
It was self-centered. And in Christianity, you need to look out for your brother. I say, love your neighbor as you love thyself. You must not be self-centered. When you are self-centered, you are not showing the love of God, because God is love.
I want to say thank you, Apostle, for this lesson. This is wonderful. I don't know, but I think these are issues that happen to our day-to-day life. When talking about the prodigal son, believe you me, whether you like it or not, these are things we experience every day in our society, where one is not patient enough to stay, one always needs to go and stuff like that. It's been wonderful. But this is going to move us to our next topic from next week. We're going to be looking at the lost presence. The lost presence. Sometimes as a Christians, we don't know where we've lost it. As you might be committed to your boss in the office, but you don't know when you lost it. You don't just know, but something has left. You don't just know, but something has left. The zeal, the way your boss is looking at you, no more looking at you that way again. Something had just left. So other person might be seeing you as the committed one, but he is seeing as this person cannot do this thing. Okay, so we are actually going to be talking about that next week, and I know that Apostle Tony is definitely going to be giving us real answers that we need to know. Believe me, this today is actually one of my best moments on the show. I enjoyed every single word. I want to say thank you, sir. But before we leave, we also like you to give us your details, okay, so we can actually get in contact of worshiping with you also, sir.
Okay, we are a Touch from God Ministries. Number 7 Minishinda Street, Elimbu, Port Harcourt. Days of services are Tuesdays, fasting and prayers, 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and our counseling starts by 12 noon to 4 p.m. And every Fridays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is an evening with the Lord, with an exception for second and last Friday of every month. That happens to be a tarry night, a night with God. And come expectant, you never go back the same. Starts from 10:30 p.m. to about 4 a.m. And every Sunday, we have 2 services named Gracious Services. The first one is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the second, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Come expectant, and you will never go back the same, for God is still changing lives. You can also follow us on our YouTube pages, on Touch TV, and you are free to visit anytime, any day. There will be a number appearing on the screen, which you can also call for any assistance, for prayer, for counseling, for guidance, for direction. We will be ready to be of assistance to you whenever you call. The Lord bless you as you do so in Jesus' name.
Amen. Of course, the Lord bless you too, Apostle. Thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is all we'll call it over for today. Until we see you again, same station, same time next week. Always keep your swag on, because that's the best thing for you to do. And of course, don't forget, do not be that prodigal son in whatever field you are right now, whether you're serving or whether you're in the church serving, maybe choir leader, royal guard, whatever position you handle, please. They need your very best. That's why you're there, and God need you more. Okay, well, those of you serving in a private firm, you know what to do. Apostle has already said it all. Be loyal, even though your boss is hardened. God is not looking at your boss' heart. God is looking at your own heart. Your boss has his own case to settle. You also have your own to settle. So don't be too in hurry to leave. All right, calm down and learn. Get the full trunk, get the full load of everything before you say bye-bye. And of course, he said something striking. He said, your master must bless you. That's the most important. And if he must bless you, then he must bless you with his whole heart. Don't be deceived by everything. I said everything that glisters is not good. You know that. Today might be shiny, but you don't know what tomorrow holds for you. So you better be careful. All right, next week we're going to be looking at the lost present. And I know you can't afford to miss out from next week's episode. But till then, I want to say bye for now. God bless you.